Audio Jungle. 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 Audio Jungle.
Assalamu alaikum. This is your computer science teacher, Saifawad Akhtar Ansari. We are about to discuss the paper 2 of October November series, and variant number is 22. I hope you have studied this PRM, because if you haven't studied it yet, you must study now, because we are about to solve its pseudocode. So my recommendation is to study it as soon as possible, then we start the pseudocode. Okay, so this is a scenario that there's a transport system, and these are the details of every vehicle, where it starts from and where it will end, the cost of each destination, each and everything. It also says that to book a journey, a passenger will enter a code. Of course, you have to enter a code at the start of the journey, and the total price is calculated by together of the three stages. Means they are talking about these stages. We can call this stage 1, we can call this stage 2, and we call this stage 3. And there is also a discount that the total price will be reduced by 40% when the start of the journey is after 10. Means that when train or when the vehicle leaves its station, so and after 10, then it will be reduced by the 40%. Means the discount you will get, it would be a 40% of its original one. So what we have to do in the task 1, I repeat myself, that we should study it right in detail, because everything is mentioned here in the scenario. So it is very important to look through it. Do not just have a glimpse of it, or have a glance of it. No, you have to read it thoroughly, study it thoroughly, that what is being asked. Okay, because everything is mentioned here. So in task 1, what we have to do, we have to set up a booking system, right? And we have to set up arrays, whatever the arrays are required. Okay, number 1, we have to set up arrays for codes and prices of the three stages, means these three stages. Okay, passenger accounts that include a unique passenger account number and name, of course the passenger detail. Bookings that include unique passenger account number, start time of the journey, code for each of the journey, unique booking number for the journey, and then store the data for the code and price for each stage. So first of all, in this session, we will discuss only task 1, right? So we try to make the pseudocode of it, and all of these instructions have been interpreted in a very easy way. I have already noted down. So in task 1, what they are saying basically, declare 6 arrays, of course, because if you see in the 3 stages, there are 2 columns, code price, right? Code price, okay, and this is the code price. So it means 2, 4, 6. Home start station to end station, and end station to destination. So these are the 3 stages, and every stage has 2 columns. So every stage has 2 arrays, right? So total there are 6 arrays. Then generate a unique passenger code and name the passenger account. Create a function that will ensure that the passenger code is unique. Create a subroutine, and this all the information. I hope you got the point. And if you're still confused, you must study and look through the PRM so you may understand the pseudocode and its technique. Okay, now let's begin the task 1, pseudocode. I hope you have understood all of these statements, right? Now let's begin. Okay, declare. I started to declare the variable for the home start port, which contains the string values C1, C2, and so on. Then I declared a variable of home start price, which is a real data type, and the numeric values. Then I declared start station and station variable, and it contains the string values as well. For the reference, I can show you that these are the 3 stages, right? And the values are, data type, and the values are here. So we have to take the values from all these 3 stages. Okay, now in the same way, I declared the and station and destination code, right? And station and destination price. Everything has been mentioned here. We just need to look through it, right? The code, the price, the code, the price, and the code, the price. So we stored each and every information in our variables. Now for the element of an array, I use the variable index. Data type is integer. Then passenger info, I use a variable pass info, means passenger info, which is a string. Then I use booking info variable, right? Now I declare the passenger account variable to store the details of a passenger. Okay, what's here that declare passenger account, and it contains pass info, means passenger info, which data type is string, and the index is the integer, right? And then I use the repeat loop. Now next thing is that passenger account number, this is the variable which contains the input value. Whenever the user input the account number, it will check whether the account number is in the database or not, right? So I use the variable checking, and if the data is available in the variable, then it will accept or not accept. We will set the condition, and this will happen, this will continue the entire process until the checking is true, right? Means it will check that whether it is existed or not. And when it will finish until the checking is true, means that if the data is stored in the database, yes, then it will just continue the loop. Okay, next I use a passenger name variable, and the data will be stored passenger name, of course. Then I use the variable pass info, means passenger info. The passenger info along with the index will store passenger account number and the passenger name, right? And our subroutine will be completed here. Okay, next thing is that declare a function is existed. Of course, it is a function of a programming language. Then what it will check? It will check passenger account number, right? If passenger account number is in passenger info variable, then the message will be displayed that sorry, this account number is not available, right? And it will return false. False means that it does not exist, right? So otherwise, what the system will decide, it will decide that the return is true, means if it is available, then it will say that it is true. And here our function will be AND. Now next thing, declare booking, means now we have to store the booking information in this variable, and then I use the repeat variable. Okay, next is a start time variable, because it will store the start time, that at which time the train or the vehicle will start. and it will continue the process till 23 hours. Now I use the loop to validate the data from the C1 till C5. As you can see that here, C1 till C5, the price tags have been changed, right? So and it is also here that the price will be reduced when the time of the journey is after 10, right? So we have to just keep this point in our mind as a reference, that it could be added later on, right? Now I use a loop to validate the data from C1 till C5. Then home start station. This variable include to ask the user enter home to start station, right? And the user enter the home start station, then it will check. Okay, and till which condition it will check? That will check till C1 or C2 or C3, whatever the code will be entered, it will be checking constantly. In the same way, it will start checking start station to end station variable, right? Then it will start checking this mode, that it will start checking if the M1 is available or M2 is available or M3 is available. So this is a point of the stage 2, and the last is stage 3, enter end station to destination. Now it will check this stage F1 till F5. I hope you cleared this point, because if you try to process one loop, the other two loops are same. Now next we have to calculate the cost of all three stages, right? So cost of home start station, cost of start station to end station, and cost of end station to destination. Now cost home start station includes the home station code, right? Cost start station to end station includes start station and price, and cost 3 is end station to destination includes the end station destination price. Okay. Now for the booking, I use a technique to get the date and time to get the booking number, right? Because booking number includes the parameters, so I try to use it. Booking number equals to date and time. Booking info index, it stores the passenger account number, passenger name, start time, home start destination, start station to end station to destination, and booking number. So it requires it stores all of the data that we gathered earlier in the program. So it is about to store in this variable booking info, and our subroutine has been completed. Now I use a call function. Call function is a procedure that whenever you write a subroutine, so it is easy to call this subroutine in the different section of the program. So I called a subroutine named passenger account. It includes passenger info and the index, and I called booking, which includes the booking info and the index. So both of the information, both of the variables have the complete information stored in its memory, and now we can sort it out easily. So this is a task 1. I hope you understood it, and if there is any problem in understanding this solution, you may keep reading the pre-release material, because everything has been taken from here. This column, and this column, plus these are the requirements that we follow to sort out this issue. So task 1 has been completed, and for the task 2 I will make another video session. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.